That down? Let's get things started off with this. Yeah, this weekend is shaping up to be a pretty damn good weekend at the movies. We got two primary films, a number of limited release things, but the two ones I've really got my eyes on. Number one is a movie I know is fantastic. How to Train Your Dragon. That's opening up this weekend. And then a movie that, if it wasn't for who was involved with it, I would say looked like kind of a throwaway little rom-com maybe in the Materialists. Or I don't think there's a "the" in there. I think it's just Materialists.
Materialists, yeah.
Anyway, but you got Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and is being directed by the director of
Celine Song.
Yeah, but the name of the movie,
Past Lives.
Past Lives. Thank you. The director of Past Lives makes it. You clearly go, well, it's going to be more than just what it looks like. Well, guess what? Both of these films right now are both carrying over 80% critic ratings. Which is good news for it. If we look here at How to Train Your Dragon, right now it's carrying an 82%. The Materialist, I keep wanting to say The Materialist, is carrying an 84%. And I've talked to a couple of people who've seen, I'm actually going to go see this tomorrow.
Me too.
Me and a couple of our friends, Matt and Jay Lynn, we're going to go see this tomorrow. And I'm excited about it. Here's the interesting thing about the How to Train Your Dragon one. Now, I hate, everybody knows this, I hate it when people make excuses for why other people did or didn't like something that they do or do not like, right? I hate that. Oh, you just didn't get it. No, I got it, whatever. But I say this objectively. As I read through, out of the 18% that didn't like it, again, it's got an 82% positive thing. For the How to Train Your Dragon reviews, as I read through them, I only read one, and granted, I probably didn't get through all of them, and I'm sure other people, all film is subjective, are going to not like this movie for their own reasons. But I was dismayed, Rob.
Dismayed?
How many of the negative ones were simply based on the fact that it's too much like the original? And if you know anything about me when it comes to film criticism, it drives me crazy when film critics don't evaluate and talk about a movie on its own merits. That drives me crazy. And so I only bring that up because like 82% positive, but I'm just saying, again, I'm not trying to make up an excuse. I literally read them, the people who gave it negative reviews, I literally read them directly saying out of their own mouths, it's just too much like the original. It's like, but is the movie good on its own or not? Anyway, a lot of the critics seem to really love it. Rob, I loved this film. I don't think it's as good as the original, but being now in a live action medium, and they definitely changed a few things in the lore to fill some things out, it just created a completely different experience for me, watching it in one medium over another. And, I've been saying for a while now, Rob, I can't recommend enough for people to go out and see How to Train Your Dragon this weekend. It's just a joyous, fun, and emotional movie to watch. Like, I found myself getting choked up a couple of times in the movie. And as far as Materialists go, like Rob was pointing out, you've got a emerging directing superstar coming out who is now working with these top headline A-listers. And it actually looks really interesting. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Stitch Fix. Guys, I love movies, but you also know I have absolutely no fashion sense, and I absolutely hate shopping for my clothes. But thankfully, I have found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. With Stitch Fix, I get a stylist who understands my style, size, and budget, and they do all the shopping for me. Because look, shopping and figuring out style can be overwhelming, especially for somebody like me. When it comes to getting dressed, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. That's why I love having a Stitch Fix stylist. They really know what works for me. I get pieces that make me look great, and it's a real confidence boost. You just give your stylist your size, style, and budget preferences. You get to order boxes when you want and how you want, no subscription required. They send you personalized pieces, and the fit is always on point. No stores, no crowds, no stress. Just personalized looks that you will love. So guys, make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Campea. That's stitchfix.com/Campea. This is a good weekend to be a film fan, Rob. Anyway, you seeing the critic reactions for both of these. Obviously, you've already seen How to Train Your Dragon. You haven't seen Materialists yet.
Right.
What do you think about the response Dragon is getting, and where's your anticipation level like for Materialists?
Well, first of all, ever since I heard Konstantin Kisin on the Trigonometry podcast talk about first principles, like when you're making an argument or discussing something, you should go to first principles. And in terms of How to Train Your Dragon, they're doing a live action remake of we've talked about this. The How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is a terrific trilogy.
Oh, it's excellent.
Really,
So
really
good.
great. It's great for home 3D. It's some of the best you can get. So to do a remake, this is a delightful remake of the first principle was to remake this in live action. Wonderful job. Getting Gerard Butler to come back, keeping the design of the dragons, casting it well, even using Tandy Newton's daughter.
Yeah.
She was a change, but a wonderful change.
Oh, she's so good
She's
in the
so
movie.
good in the
Yeah.
movie. And the film, the original creator comes back to write and direct this. And it's like, you can't ask for something more in terms of first principles. Yeah, is this made to make money? Well, spoiler alert, they're in the business to make money. It's not show friends, it's show business. And this movie is going to do some good business because it's good. So I'm excited. People are going to go to the theaters. Kids are going to love it. Parents are going to love it. Even a dark-hearted soul like myself. We talked about like the first 20 minutes, I wasn't feeling it. And then it kind of clicked into place, because you have the standard fantasy setup at the beginning, which they have to do if you haven't seen the animated film. But once it goes on, it's great. I love this movie. I was enchanted by it. Celine Song, I love Past Lives.
Yeah, she did such a great
I
job
loved
on
it.
that.
And I talked to a friend of mine last night, my friend in exhibition, Rob, and I figured he saw 28 years later and he saw this. I won't talk about 28 years later yet, but he was surprised because he also loved Past Lives, how much he liked this movie. And because at first it looked like, but she's bringing her own unique spin. I did not know this, but she used to be a matchmaker herself before she was directing movies. So like Past Lives, this comes right out of
personal
her
experience.
own life and personal experience. So I'm like, okay, man, I really want to see it. And he said, it's delightful. He also said, he's like, I'm sick of Pedro Pascal, but Pedro Pascal was great in the film. And look, how long has it been since we've had a rom-drom or a rom-com? Call it what you want. I've heard it's more of a rom-drom. But I would look, what I want is authorship, John. I want to see a film that I feel like the filmmaker has given me something or insight into a world I know nothing about matchmaking, other than what they sang in Fiddler on the Roof or whatever. I can't wait to see this movie, and I'm going to go tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. But again, How to Train Your Dragon, I can't recommend it. If you love the original film, this is just a new experience of that story being done again. As Rob pointed out, the original director came back to do it. Again, they even changed a little bit of the mythology, like how Burke came into being. They adjusted that a little bit from the animated thing to give it more context and more depth. And again, how it might be the best live action adaptation I've ever seen.
Plus, I got to tell you, I got a little teared up.
Yeah.
I got a little choked up at the end of this movie, and I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
That there's power there. That's the force.
Yeah, it's a
Surrounds
wonderful
us.
little movie. It makes
Finds
you go
us.
check it out. And sounds like Materialist is going to deliver too.
So what? Let me ask you: over under on How to Train Your Dragon? Is it going to make over $100 million this weekend?
I don't think so.
Really?
I simply don't know. I think it's a movie that deserves to. They haven't done a lot of marketing. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't seen much at all.
Like they have not really been putting a lot. I mean, I don't know if they have a lot of money to put into the marketing of it, but that's why I don't think it cracks $100 million. It's just, they haven't gotten the word out about it.
I mean,
it even snuck up on me that it was coming out this weekend.
Parents, you don't have to go see Lilo and Stitch for a third time. Go see How to Train Your Dragon. I mean,
Exactly.
where is that money? Like we said, this movie would make, like Lilo and Stitch is making all the money. This should be, what a great follow-up.
None
You
of
got
the
a great
animated
lead-in.
films even got to half that. So, I mean,
And by the way, most of the schools are out now.
Yeah.
They're ending.
So yeah, if you got kids, go take them to see How to Train Your Dragon. Hey, hell, even if you don't have kids, go see How to Train Your Dragon. It's a fun, delightful little movie. And anyway, it's a good weekend to be a movie fan. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? I mean, both of these movies opening up in wide release, both cracked over the 80% critic marks. I can tell you for a fact that How to Train Your Dragon is wonderful. The Materialist is looking really good. Which one are you planning to go to see first, if any of them? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.